This lesson is about sensor correlation, and our objectives today are to understand the definition and employment of sensor correlation and to understand the basic principles of imagery interpretation. This lesson will help you in your follow-on lesson regarding target talk-ons. Let's talk about imagery interpretation first. When interpreting and analyzing imagery, there are a few things to consider. It's important to remember that time changes everything. So when considering the recency of imagery, know that what is depicted might not include changes such as new buildings and roads or other features that change over time. It is also unlikely that the environment was the same at the time the imagery was captured as it is while you are overhead looking at the same area. The time of day and lighting might be different. There could be rain, fog, smoke, dust, and other elements that might change how the imagery looks when compared to what you actually see on your sensor. Differences between what you see on imagery and what you see on your sensor are also caused by differences in distance, angle, and orientation. Using big to small features, considering the impact of vertical development, and being cognizant of which way north is oriented in both imagery and your sensor will help you interpret and correlate your imagery with what you see on your sensor more effectively. These same techniques will help you when the quality of the imagery might be a factor as well. Sensor correlation is simply being able to reference a chart or other mission product, such as imagery, to accurately determine your sensor's position or where you're looking at in the target environment. At this point, you're familiar with the concept of using the chart-to-scope flow when correlating what you see on both. That flow is exactly the same with chart-to-sensor. It's important to use two independent sources to verify what you're looking at and not to blindly trust what you see on your imagery or sensor. Your sensor should always have a floating north arrow to aid in orienting you, and your imagery should have a depiction of which way north is as well. But being able to mentally orient yourself regardless of what cardinal direction is up on the imagery will be key to effective and expedient correlation. I hope you enjoyed this lesson on sensor correlation and understand the definition and employment of sensor correlation, as well as understand the basic principles of imagery interpretation. Feel free to review the material in this video and reach out to your instructors with any questions you have.